Hey, Bruce, how are you
Hey, Ann,
doing?
how are you?
I'm doing great. It's been forever, it seems, but probably not that long.
Not at all. I'm glad to hear things are going good at the state level in Tennessee. Can't
They
wait to see
are.
your new museum. How old is it now?
2 years, but this week it just got named after former government Governor Bill Haslam. The building got named the Bill Haslam Center,
Ah,
which is a great lead-in to because the former government did a lot of philanthropy and fundraising for that new state museum in Tennessee, which is great lead into your keynote. I'm really excited about it. I've seen so many of your facilities, and you really do spark great collaboration. So give me a little bit of a look ahead, like what's going to be exciting about this one.
sure. I've found myself actually requiring philanthropy for just about all the projects I've ever done. And in fact, in one project, I was actually in charge of the foundation at the same time in charge of the project. So it became very real to me how important philanthropy is, and equally important, the integration of the project team with the fundraising team. And so what I'm going to do is use 4 examples of 4 hospital projects I've had the pleasure of working with, and just sort of give little vignettes of the experience and how to maximize the philanthropic side with the project direction side.
Yeah, I think that'll be awesome. I think so often people don't look at the whole team and don't consider all the resources available. They just kind of look at whatever they're given to start with.
Absolutely. And I'm going to try to break down a couple of rules that you're usually told when you start into the fundraising side that aren't necessarily always true. One of them was don't look to your employee base as the large source of the revenue for the campaign. The reality is you do need all of your employees to show that they're committed, and it doesn't matter what the gift size is. But sometimes there are surprises, as we had at the Lurie Children's Hospital, where one of our past nurses actually gave us a gift of $100 million towards the project. So you never know what's going to happen.
Right, but I think that's also really important to talk about, right? Is that sometimes philanthropy is the size of the gift, and sometimes it's the size of the conversation and the breadth of the conversation to kind of get people engaged, because you just never know where the money could flow from.
Absolutely. Or the passion that somebody can bring to the table. Another good example, we in Westchester, we were starting out, we needed to raise all of the funds, or actually half the funds, for the new children's hospital. And we went to one of the biggest corporations in the area and asked for a gift, and were politely told that they wouldn't give us anything because they're all over the world and they can't give to one part of the country or to one element. But one of their employees' kids got sick and was treated at the hospital, and they ended up doing dimes for deeds around the house. They got all the other employees' kids to do it, and they came and gave us $785, which we were thrilled to get. But the next week we got a call from that company, and they were, I won't say shamed into giving, but they ended up giving us a $2 million gift. So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think sometimes people don't appreciate the power of youth, the power of the young people, but so often they really do see things so much more clearly sometimes than us who've been in the business for a while and maybe have gotten too bogged down by the red tape.
Right. And the third example, which is fun, is the involvement of donors in the design process, which can be very scary. And most architects will not be very enthused about that concept, but I'm going to give 2 interesting examples where we were just bogged down in getting an exterior that resonated with the community. And that's when the donors jumped in and they said, if you can't get it right, we're going to find somebody who can, which is not a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But because of their involvement in a positive way, we ended up with some really beautiful buildings from the exterior as well as the interior. So a lot of little stories.
I think it'll be so exciting. I know from my own experience working in the healthcare industry that sometimes I was working on one project and the organization wanted to cut some of the special features we as architects really like and really engage the patient population out of the project, until they realized that all of those things were paid for by donors.
Right. That's a great example. Could give you story after story on the same subject.